Evening or good afternoon, whenever you're watching this. You know who I am by now if you're subscribed or watch us through Facebook. It's the DOUG here for his movie review of Resident Evil Retribution. Ooh, yeah. I got the Blu-ray version. Figured, hey, if I'm going to spend the money, I may as well get the good one, right? Now, of course, this is the 5th Resident Evil movie in the Resident Evil franchise, which is based on the Resident Evil video game. And this leaves off where Afterlife ended. Now, of course, Mila Jovovich returns as Alice, who's only in the movies. Why do I keep saying video games? I don't know why. You know, she probably will be in one of the video games eventually. Anyway, just before we get to the plot of this one, which is good and weird, the movie was released depending on what country you live in, either September 3rd, September 6th, or September 14th. The running time for this was 95 minutes. It's not bad. And its budget was only $65 million. And it made at box office $221 million. So that's pretty damn good. Now, of course, this one, the Umbrella Corporation, is up to no good. They captured Alice, apparently, at the end of the last film. If you do not remember any of the films, it is doing what it's been doing in the last few ones, giving you a recap of past events, which is fine by me, in case you forgot. Now, of course, the Umbrella Corporation is cloning. That is right. They have cloned Carlos, Juan, Rain, and Alice as well to use in simulations for other countries. You know, what would happen if the virus broke out in New York, or Japan, or China, or Russia, or wherever you want to name, alright? That's how the Umbrella Corporation made its money, money, money. Now, of course, Jill gets captured, and we know she doesn't know about the cloning yet. And when she wakes up, she finds she's still in an umbrella base under the sea. So my question is, which one are they whipping? Are they trying to say it's kind of like Resident Evil 6? That one takes place under the sea level, which was annoying. Anyway, of course she tries to escape, and she gets help from Ada Wong, and of all surprises, Albert Wesker, who seemed to survive the events of the last film. Apparently, Ada and Wesker no longer work for Umbrella, and we'll get to that. Wesker also tells them that the Wood Queen is now controlling what remains of Umbrella, and he plans to aid Alice and escape and battle the base programs in order to save what's left of mankind. Now, of course, they do get some help in the escape from Leon S. Kennedy, Barry Burden, and Luther West, who is the only other survivor that we know of right now from the last film. By the way, Luther West, I recall, is not in any of the games. He was just made for this movie. Now, of course, unfortunately, a lot of people die in this film, besides the billions of zombies who are already dead. Now, of course, like I said, Umbrella Corporation used cloning and fake environments to show what would happen to potential buyers. Apparently, it worked. Anyway, there's a little girl in this who becomes a key factor for Alice, and that is the deaf daughter, Becky. Pretty much, if you remember the Aliens film chick who was deaf, that's pretty much what this character is supposed to be symbolizing. Moving on. Like I said, there are two Carloses, one Rain that we know, because we didn't see it, well, I meant one, excuse me, one, and two Rains. Alright? Yeah, everyone's cloned. There's a good Rain and a bad Rain. There's probably a good one and a bad one, depending whether James, Shay, whatever you want to call him. And of course, a good and evil Carlos. Unfortunately, those are clones. All the good clones die, so bye-bye, good clones. Now, of course, unfortunately, the good guys also do lose some people, because apparently of a giant-ass looker. That is right, there is a looker that it's giant. And it goes killing people. Yay! I like when they die. Now, of course, the best death of this film had to be Barry. Because, man, Barry just died like a man. He went out like a man. And that's the whole way we want to go. If you haven't seen how he dies, watch the film. And spoiler, he dies. Ooh, I don't care. If you want spoiler, if you don't want to hear any more spoilers, stop watching the video now. I'd recommend that. Anyway, Leon, Luther, Alice, and Becky all make it to the top. Unfortunately, there is one more battle because Carlos is dead too. He gets killed in the explosion. Yay! The group services and find out they are not. They are met by 7 from which Jill, the evil Rain, and the caption Ada emerge. Now, of course, with New Orders, they are supposed to kill Alice. Jill battles Alice, Rain, infecting herself with the last Plagueis. Ain't that just great? That gives her strength and invincibility. Knocks out Ada Rome with a bitch slap from hell, and fights Luther and Leon. Unfortunately, Luther, one of the only two black characters in this film, gets killed off as well. That's what I noticed in this one. I want somebody to go back through all the Resident Evil films. I might do that late next week at the MagFest. But is it just me? Does it seem like if you're black in Resident Evil, you don't survive? Don't believe me? Ask the Will Smith zombie. If you don't know what I mean, you're not a Resident Evil fan. Alright? Now, of course, Alice does save Jill, who had that little, whatever the fuck it was in the middle of her chest that she was being controlled with. And Eva Rain gets killed by it, presumably a bunch of zombies in an icy, icy grave. Ooh. Now, of course, Alice wakes in a helicopter with everyone left safe, except Luther because he's dead. Alice, Ada, Becky, Leon, and Jill, who is no longer being controlled, like I just said, Ephesa, return to Wesker's base, which is ironically enough the White House. You know what? If Wesker's running for president, I will vote for the man. He would do a better job than the people we got now. And Wesker gives Alice her gift back, and infects her with the T-Virus, which returns all her superhuman abilities in order to extract his pain. He then tells them pretty much at the end of the film, he is trying to save the rest of the humans from extinction once and for all. Wesker leads them up to the top of the White House, explaining this is the last stand. The scene zooms out to reveal that the landscape around them, showing destroyed Umbrella helicopters and the remaining U.S. troops fighting alongside Wesker's Umbrella army. Some of the Umbrella people did go with Wesker, so apparently there were some Umbrella people with a soul. So yeah, but nothing after the end credits, so don't continue after that. It pretty much seems like they're using zombies now from Resident Evil 4, 5, and 6. So if those were not your favorite Resident Evil games, you may want to stay clear from this one. Now, of course, like I said, some of the characters were brought back from older films, like Rain, like Carlos, like Juan. But the one who was playing Leon, he was okay. I didn't like him too much. The one playing Ada Wong, oh, thank you God. They got a hot-looking Asian chick for that one. I approve of that. Now, of course, the film did leave a few questions left for me as well. And that is this. Where is Chris and where is Claire? That was not said, so maybe they're dead, maybe they're captured, no one really knows. Hopefully we find out in the next movie. Yes, there is a next film, believe it or not. If you don't like it, you may not want to know it. Now 6 should be the final one, which would be fine by me, because the Resident Evil movie franchise hasn't been bad, and I know I'm getting, because that's what I want to talk about as well for a little bit. The Resident Evil film franchise has been pretty much directed by the same guy repeatedly. Mr. Paul W.S. Anderson, who is married to Mila Jovovich, so that's probably why he's having fun. So yeah, he's pretty much made every Resident Evil. He's either directed it, written it, or produced it. He was one of the three, so he's been involved with all the Resident Evil some way or another. Ironically enough, he also did the Death Race 1, Death Race 2, and Death Race 3. Yes, there is a Death Race 3. Oh dear God, why? But that has nothing to do with this. Now, of course, like I said, the Resident Evil franchise has done pretty well, compared to its predecessors in video game movies, and it is one of the longer ones running. The Tomb Raider ones were crap, Mario one was crap, the Street Fighter ones, depending who you ask. I like the first Street Fighter film. The Legend of Chun-Li, crap. And the Mortal Kombat films, both were good, to me. Now, of course, this one, like I said, is the 5th one. Out of the 5 that they've done, I still believe the last one, the 4th one, Afterlife, is the worst one out of the 5. I still consider the first 2 to be the best. 3rd one is decent. Afterlife sucks. As far as for this one, I actually enjoyed it, I kind of could tell who was going to live or die just because, just by luck of the draw. I kind of figured Luther was going to die because, yeah, you're not the main character, dude. You're not going to be in 3 films. Barry dying, I was kind of disappointed with, just because he does stay alive in the games. But hey, maybe Wesker knows how to freaking clone people. Who knows? And Wesker being a good guy, that's kind of weird, but I'm okay with it. You know, I was a little pissed off at that at the beginning, but hey, I'm okay with it. You know, I would work for Wesker, wouldn't you? I'm sure someone's going to say no, they won't, but I will, because Wesker's awesome. So at the end of the day, Resident Evil Retribution gets a 4 out of 5. Not a 5 out of 5 just because of the fact of you could kind of know who was going to die or not. That was kind of disappointing. And Wesker becoming a good guy, that was kind of a iffy there. But that's pretty much it. I still say the worst Resident Evil is still Resident Evil Afterlife, because, oh dear God, I give that a 1. The rest of the Resident Evils 1 and 2, I give a 4. The third one I give a 3. The fourth one I give a 1. This one I give a 4. So maybe it might be because I didn't have high expectations for this one, but it is what it is. So that's my review of Resident Evil Retribution. Good movie. It does stay in the element of the Resident Evil games. Give it that. It doesn't try to bullshit the characters to a degree. Leon. And I'm kind of happy, they introduced new characters as well. I mean, Alice and Luther, all that, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, let me know what you think of the Resident Evil franchise. Do you like the movies? Or do you think they're just a bad attempt at making a buck? Let me know what you think. Until I see you next time for my review of Jeopardy the video game. Yes, I said Jeopardy the video game. All my playoff picks on my Wide Water Sports next week. This is the DUG saying goodbye and enjoy your weekend. Woo!